Your crypto gains are starting to accumulate, congratulations! And you ask yourself the question how to turn your cryptos into nice bundles of bills like this one into money available in your bank account. No, there are mistakes to avoid to not turn this step into a real ordeal. It's good because I just went through the entire process, and of course I will go into details, explain how to make it go as smoothly as possible with your bank. If you have interest for today and the future, let's take a look at it now. A number of individuals have requested a video regarding taking profits and cashing out. As I mentioned in a previous video that I was selling a portion of my bitcoins, a portion of my ordinal tokens, and conducting a complete cash out by transferring the funds to my bank account. So you were interested in knowing how to proceed and what mistakes to avoid when performing this manipulation task. If the content of this video interests you and you like this kind of video, don't hesitate to let me know by giving me a like. Boost the likes, guys, give me strength and maybe a comment. And especially if you're new, remember to go under this video, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. When investing in cryptocurrencies, it is logical to consider taking profits in order to achieve our objectives, whether they are a dream journey, a new vehicle, or even investment in real estate or other areas of business. Profiting, cashing out crypto is crucial for investors. And remember, when gains are there, it's logical to take profits along the way because many investors make astronomical gains in cryptos, always wanting more, never taking profit, and end up losing over 80% of what they initially gained in bear markets. And it's really a shame to have to wait several months, even several years, to finally find what we could have recovered and realize our dreams. When taking profits in crypto, there is already a question to ask oneself. Do I want to take profits in stablecoin to maybe keep it in the crypto ecosystem, reinvest in other projects, start a new cycle, whatever? Where do I want to take profits? Take them in the currency of the country to which we belong, for example? For example, in Europe, it's mainly the euro. In other countries, it will be the dollar, it can be the dirham elsewhere, etc. In short, you understood me, in the currency of your country, because there is a huge difference between the two. For example, in France, when you make a cryptocurrency transaction from crypto A to crypto B, you are not taxable, you are not subject to taxation. That's why the use of stable coins like USDT, USDC, well, it's really a very interesting and very useful tool because it will allow us to make crypto-to-crypto transactions without being subject to taxation. From the moment, and I want to insist on this so that you don't get fooled, from the moment you make a transaction from a cryptocurrency to a fiat currency like the euro or the dollar, but not the stable coin, you are then subject to a tax. A tax here on capital gains in France, and we're talking about a flat tax that still represents 30% of your capital gains. So don't convert your cryptos into real euros lightly, it could cost you a lot. Once you are certain you want to exit the cryptocurrency ecosystem and transfer your funds to your bank account, obviously you have several steps to follow. First thing, it's going to be to send your cryptos to a centralized exchange. Here I will provide the example with Binance or BitGet. Why do I recommend Binance and BitGet? Because I am addressing an international audience including French speakers as well as channels in German, English, Spanish and Arabic, and the legislations in different countries are not the same. For example, here at Binance we are categorized as a PSAN, a digital asset service provider. BitGet is not, but in other countries, for example, Binance may be prohibited, unusable, and therefore we necessarily need another platform to cash out. I let you do your own research to see according to your country which platforms you should use, and if you want to use one of them, I put the links in the pinned comment description. For these two platforms, I will offer you a 20% discount on your trading fees for life using my link. It's essential to maximize your earnings and support my channel by using them. I thank you. 20% is the max I can offer. I prioritize the community. You'll rarely or never find these kinds of proposals elsewhere. Now we will proceed. Once you are certain about the cash out transaction, such as converting to euros or dollars, you will transfer your cryptocurrency to Binance. That's what I did when I sold one of my bitcoins a few days ago. Once you are on Binance or BitGet, you will convert your crypto into a stablecoin, for example. Here I use USDT. And I want to make a small disclaimer that I only use centralized exchanges as a last resort to sell my assets in the end. But in between, I prefer to move the majority of my cryptos out of centralized exchanges and store them, for example, on hardware wallets like Ledger or devices like SafePal. I have videos on my YouTube channel that explain how these devices work, if you're interested. Once you have made your sales and have your stablecoins, it is the same on one platform as on another. Click here and then click on withdrawal. And you can see that on Binance as on Bitgate it's exactly the same thing. You have this option withdrawal. Once you have the withdraw option, you can see that it is for withdrawing cryptocurrencies. I also have the possibility to convert to fiat. By clicking on it, that's when I will be able to send my money directly to my bank account. I have the same option at Binance. You can see it here for withdrawing in crypto. If I want to withdraw in fiat, I have the fiat withdrawal option. At that time, I will have the option to choose to perform a bank transfer. Avoid making your bank transfers with substantial amounts of money like that. For example, here, with $23,000, it could create very big problems for me. When making your bank transfer, depending on your country of residence, if you live in Switzerland or Dubai, you will have no issues. But for example, as someone who is still French, or other people who are in Germany, or why not in England, these precautions must be taken. The precautions will be to call your bank, ask to speak to your bank advisor, and inform them that you have made investments in cryptocurrencies, that since the years you have invested, well, you have made capital gains, that you wish to recover the money from these capital gains, and that you will therefore receive a certain amount, a large sum of money in a few days. You can explain to them what it is, because anyway they will see it, and that it will arrive in your account. To them, explain the origin of funds that will arrive in your account. If not done, there is a verification process, at least in Europe, where they investigate to ensure the money is not from drugs, money laundering, financing terrorism, or similar activities. So if you don't want to end up with a frozen bank account, while they conduct an investigation and maybe even have the police on your tail when you make your withdrawal, warn them in advance. It will avoid any misunderstanding and it will avoid any problem. Be aware that at this moment you have only transformed your cryptocurrencies into traditional currency and you are consequently liable to be taxed. In France it will be the flat tax and we will be taxed at a rate of 30%. You should know that when you make a withdrawal in fiat currency, you are still limited. As an illustration, I still have a total of $23,000 on the cash out transaction I made a few days ago. Why do I have $23,000 left when I cashed out much more than that? Well, simply because we can't remove everything at once. In fact, here I am capped, it seems to me, on Binance at $22,000 per day. I cannot withdraw 100,000 euro at once, for example. I have to split it up and distribute it like this over the course of the days, 20,000 euros per day, until I have been able to withdraw the entire amount that I wanted to send to my bank account. Remember to set aside at least 30% of this amount, perhaps in a separate account, until you have the tax due the following year, so as not to simply spend all that you had and not be able to pay your taxes. If you cash out 1M euros and you owe 300k euros to the state, don't blow your million euros, because how will you manage afterwards? In terms of taxation, don't try to outsmart the tax authorities. It's one of the worst ideas in my opinion. Be aware that checks will be conducted regardless of what happens. Personally, it is not a subject I like to joke about or try to cheat, no. Do things by the book, pay what you owe to the state, you will sleep well at night, you will be peaceful and you will have no worries with the law. It's part of the game, you know it too, so be very careful, don't try to be too clever. It would be a shame to have consequences that can be very heavy. And above all, if you have any doubts, do not hesitate, especially if it is significant amounts, to surround yourself, for example, with a tax lawyer who can explain all this to you in more detail and much better than me in a professional manner. Here, I hope that many of you will utilize this video. Why? Because I hope that many of you are achieving gains in crypto that enable you to fulfill your dreams. If you know others who are wondering how to go all the way with a cash out, don't hesitate to share this video with your circle of contacts. Remember, use a platform. I'll provide the link in the description, comments and paint glue. Get a lifelong 20% discount on trading fees. It would be a shame to miss out. I'll see you soon for the next video. Ciao.